You already know what time it is. Uh, Welcome to the show where the real stay spinning. Popcorn ready, yeah, the cow will stay winning. From the opening scene to the end credit roll, every frame get love, every story gets told. I'm talking movie reviews, no rush, no hype. If it's fire, we'll say it. If not, we precise. From blockbusters big to the films you miss. If it hit different, yeah, we taking a risk. Just that real time, we have Frankie. Take a seat, front row vision, yeah, we wank it down.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Real Time with Frankie. I'm your man Frankie, and I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who is reaching out, who's curious about where I've been. I was just busy in real life, right? Nobody knows what I do for work. I'm currently the supervisor at a nonprofit organization where it is our mission to find second chance work opportunities for people who are returning citizens or anyone involved in the justice system, justice impacted or justice involved. It's a really important job. It's a really important mission. And during the months of April and May, it just got incredibly busy. Couldn't find the time to record for the show. But I'm back. I want to give a big thank you again to everybody who is curious. I know that I'm watched. I know that I'm listened to. I know that I'm looked out for. And it meant a lot to me. All right. So we're going to kick off this episode with a trailer watch. And the trailer watch we're going to be seeing is Supergirl.
Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back. You know, I'm just worried that you're not going to find your stride here if you keep going off-world all the time, Kara. I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no people. Oh, miss wherever you are, buddy. Crypto and I at least had each other. Honestly, I thought we were lucky. But luck, almost by definition, runs out. What can I do?
The Brickens carry the antidote on that person. He has 3 days.
You cannot give up on me.
It's a crime of the Yellow Hills. Who murdered my innocent family.
Just do what I say. And don't die. This does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Stop. You're hurting my head.
Revenge. It won't take your pain away.
Your eyes are beautiful when you cry. Lot of pain, lot of suffering.
There's no home without you, buddy.
Aren't you the ditz from that dive bar?
Funny. That's what I've been calling you.
Touche.
I'm very excited about this James Gunn film, right? If you don't know James Gunn, he was responsible for the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy over at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think he did a phenomenal job writing with them over there, and that's honestly what led him over to being the head of DC over at HBO. And so far, it's working out for him as well. He's got great projects already on HBO Max. The Batman was great. The Penguin, I heard, got great reviews. Haven't seen it, yet. And the Superman movie that he did, absolutely wonderful. I thought it was a very good version of Superman, right? There was a very bright, vivid, lively storytelling of a Superman story. And I really enjoyed that from James Gunn. I can't wait to see what he has in store for this Supergirl movie. Millie Alcock is playing Supergirl, and then it looks like a young lady named Eve Riley, right? Eve Ridley is playing a protagonist in the film as well, right? We see in the trailer that she's on a mission to save Crypto, her super dog, after, an encounter with some aliens. Somebody shot the dog, and according to Eve Ridley's character, Crypto has 3 days in order to get an antidote before he dies for good. And I can't wait to watch this movie, right? We know Jason Momoa is playing Lobo, as you can see in the trailer. And what I'm really, really most excited about is seeing this young lady, Millie Alcock, play the lead of this movie, right? I'm going to talk about it later in my director's note segments, but that plays a very, very important, or it holds a very special place in my heart when it comes to cinema, seeing women take on leading roles. And I'll get into it later, but I'm really excited to watch Supergirl, greenlit by James Gunn. I see that the writer is a woman writer as well. Her name is Anna Noguera. Okay? Anna Noguera, written by her, directed by Craig Gillespie. And really excited to see this Supergirl movie. Comes out in theaters June 26th. Go see it. I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm definitely going to give it a review as well. Okay? The next trailer we're going to be watching is coming out of A24 Studios. You know how I feel about them. This movie is called Onslaught.
How long has it been here, Celeste? You need to get over your shit, soldier.
I like it here. It's safe.
Look, I got an emergency meeting. You're up, Mom.
No. It's a burrito. Eat a burrito with your hands. Like this. Quiet. Big bite.
That's my bro.
This is the second time that Black Hawk has gone over us today. They're up to something in the desert north of here. Some kind of secret base or some shit.
What you are witnessing here is a human equivalent of a heat-seeking missile. Perfect soldier.
Would you mind telling me what I'm up against tonight?
We're set out to create an ideal combatant to be deployed against the domestic populace. These men are conditioned to kill until they are stopped.
Do you have any practical advice for engagement?
Use your best judgment, then. Cover our tracks.
Don't be afraid. We're your government.
Where are you going?
Go to your room. Get under the bed. Mama needs to get her guns. Cover your ears.
Why?
I'm just gonna say a lot of bad words, okay?
Come on, you little bitch!
From Trailer Park, motherfucker!
So, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to watch this movie. If I watch this movie, it's only going to be off the strength that A24 is releasing it. So, I've already talked about and praised A24 for the movies that they've released in the last few years. Their trajectory is moving upward. Okay, they're releasing a lot of great films. I actually just watched the drama starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. And again, I thought it was great. Y'all can check out my movie review for that movie as well. And but A24 is putting out a lot of great stuff. And if I watch this movie, it's only off the strength of knowing that A24 is releasing it. But other than that, I really don't care for what looks like is going to be an action piece. Action movies, it just thrills the senses, flashing lights, loud explosions, chase scenes, stuff like that. I personally care for, a good story, something impactful. Even it doesn't even have to be impactful. It just has to be interesting enough to tell. And I'm just not getting that from this movie. Again, if I watch it, it's only because A24 is going to release it. Maybe there's a twist in the movie somewhere, you know. But at this time, it just looks like some, post-apocalyptic action piece, and I'm really not feeling it. But I'm not going to tell you to watch it. If you go watch it, come back and tell me about it. If I haven't seen it by then, maybe you all can inspire me to give it a watch. But that's it for the movie trailers. I want to get into a segment. It's a new segment. I promised it to you all months ago, and I finally got around to doing it. Like I said, the month of April and May were very, very busy for me. But I recently watched a movie, and it wasn't on the list that I showed y'all earlier. This is the list. It's not on this list, but I feel like this movie is popular in Black spaces. I finally got a chance to watch The Cheetah Girls. I finally got a chance to watch The Cheetah Girls starring Raven Simone. It also has Adrian Ballin and Kylie Williams. Adrian Bayon, I don't know. She's currently married to the gospel singer Israel Houghton. So Adrian Ballin Houghton. That's who she is. Starring Raven Simone, Adrian Ballin, Kylie Williams, and Sabrina Bryan. Okay? Lynn Whitfield as well. And oh my goodness. I gotta let y'all know, I was not happy with this movie at all. Maybe if I seen it when it came out. This movie was released in 2003. In 2003, I was in elementary school. So maybe if I saw it then, I'd have been as, pressed about other people who liked it as well. Ask anyone between the ages of 35 and 45 what they think about Cheetah Girls, and all the women love it, right? This movie, like I said, very popular in Black spaces, but I don't know. Maybe if I was younger when I saw it, I would have enjoyed it. But watching it in my big grown age, I was very, very upset at this movie. I'll say the first thing I absolutely hated about this film, or one thing I hate in general, is just sexualization of young women in film and TV. And while nothing crazy was going on in this movie, it was just how obsessed these girls were with the boys they were going to school with. Maybe that's what it was like back then. That was not my elementary or middle school experience. I was just friends with every girl I knew. I was just friends with every girl I knew. Honestly, it wasn't until high school I knew what to do beyond liking them. So it just wasn't my focus. I was going to school to learn, and I was hanging out with my friends. So if that's what it was back then, I don't know. But I was. It just made me upset seeing especially that one Kylie Williams. How she just is just fawning over these boys. And then you learn that she grew up to be in that music group 3LW, and she herself expresses some very wild things about her time in the music industry. That type of exposure to a young lady at a young age creates those kinds of experiences and habits for them, I believe. So I just didn't like to see these girls so obsessed with these young boys at school. If that's what it was back then, maybe. But in my big grown age, I hated to watch it. Anyways, the next thing I didn't like was Raven Simone in this movie. Her character is supposed to be biracial, and I just wasn't seeing it. You can put long straight hair on anyone; it don't change the fact that she is black. And you find out that Lynn Whitfield's husband in this film is Hispanic, and I'm like, are those supposed to be her parents? So stuff like that in this movie. To me, it was just cringe, but not in a bad way. It was more like, I can't believe they thought this would pass. So that was that. But I will say this: I do appreciate that they were either putting that in film, maybe having the conversations in the background about that type of diversity back then, right? In 2003, 2004, there was a lot of great content out there. And the diversity was included, but back then it was either groundbreaking or genuine. And today it's absolutely forced. You can't get a show or movie greenlit without a level of diversity in the film. And that's just money driven. If Spanish people aren't in the film, they fear that Spanish people won't go watch it. If black people aren't in the film, they fear that black people ain't gonna watch it. If white people, if Arabs, if gay people, if they're not in the film, they fear that they are missing out on an audience spending those dollars. And if that's the intention behind it, and that's why it's being forced on all the movies and TV shows coming out now, they've definitely got the wrong idea. So while I didn't like that she was supposed to be portraying a half black, half Puerto Rican young lady, I appreciate that the conversation or the action was taking place back then. Like I said, it was either groundbreaking or genuine. Okay. One more thing I didn't like about the film was the attitude that Raven Simone's character had. When she came upon this opportunity, the older folks, the folks older than me, call it smelling yourself. Like, oh, they reach a certain age, now they smelling themselves. Oh, you did a little something here and there. Now you smelling yourself. You think you got all the rights to do this. You think you got all the sense. And I agree. That's exactly what I was saying in my head when I was watching Raven Simone's character act the way she was acting, because she happened to stumble upon this guy who had a music opportunity for them. Jackal Johnson was his name, Jackal Johnson. And I just, oh my goodness, her attitude changed immediately in the film. And watching her, let me tell you something. If the goal was to make sure her character was hated, they accomplished it. Okay. So I'm not even going to say I don't like Raven Simone. I love her acting in this film. It made me really, really, really dislike the character she was playing. All right. So what blew my mind was this scene where they're supposed to be getting ready for a talent show, and her school teacher named Drinka, played by Sandra Renee Caldwell, right? Her teacher is saying we need to rehearse at this time, rehearse on this time, rehearse at this time, and Raven's character comes in and says, "Oh, I won't make it to the rehearsals." And why not? I have a meeting with Jackal Johnson, and if anyone should know about missed opportunities, it should be you. They can't come back. If I was there in that moment, in my big grown age, I would have had to address her character immediately. I couldn't have just stood there and watched her say this to a grown woman. I don't play with kids like that. I don't. Children in my life, I feel like the children that spend time around me, no, I don't play. So I just don't like to watch it. I don't like to hear it. The way children interact with adults, I'm very, very big on that. And if I were there in that moment, I would have had to say something. I couldn't have just sat there and listened to what was being discussed when she said that. So, man. And I'll say this, the final scene, and I guess, let me tell you something. I'm going to say this first. It was 2003 when the movie came out, and it's a Disney movie. So, I guess there needs to be a final scene at the end, and everyone's learned their lesson and this and this and this and that. But, for Raven Simone's character, her dog, escaped from the leash. She was walking the dog escaped from the leash, and the dog fell into a hole, and asked for some police officers to get some help. The dog fell into a hole, and immediately they're in emergency mode. It's a dog in a hole, but immediately they're dog in a hole. Let's go. This isn't good. This isn't good. And they go run. They, 30 seconds in. Hey, we need some backup out here. The most realistic thing about that scene is calling fire rescue, because I guess fire rescue has more so of the tools to do that type of stuff. We always see, the trope of firemen saving kittens out of trees and whatnot. So I guess they have more so the tools to do those type of things than police officers. But, I'll say the next realistic thing was the traffic jam that was being caused. But, the news reporter got out there to talk about the traffic jam, and then Raven Simone became the highlight of the news story. I just want my dog saved. I just need my dog saved. And this is happening while this talent show she was supposed to be rehearsing for is active, right? Talent show is happening. They see Raven's character on the news, and they stop the talent show to go see about her dog. It's a Disney movie. I got to remember, it's a Disney movie, right? Her cheetah girl friends are all in whatever different places they are, and they see her on the news also. They make their way down there to assist with getting the dog, and they just all happen to be dressed in their cheetah girl attire. And then what really tripped me out was at the end where the fireman is like, "Oh, the dog keeps moving further into the hole. We need to get him back this way. Is there something you can do?" "Oh, we should sing. Let's sing." And the cheetah girls give a performance and get the dog to come back out of the hole and whatnot. Let me tell you something. The movie, like I said, cringe, but not in a bad way. Cringe like, I can't believe they thought this was a good movie back then. But again, it was 2003. A lot of things were going on back then. So, I can't be mad at it, but I did not enjoy watching the movie. And I can officially check it off my list of Black classics that I haven't seen. So that was reviewing my Black card. And I'm going to take it over to the next segment. Here is Director's Notes. I want to talk about something, okay? There's a conversation Hollywood never wants to have honestly. Instead, it dances around it. It uses marketing techniques and headlines, but it rarely ever addresses it directly. And this is the conversation. Historically, women have not been the dominant force in women-led films. Not that there have been no successful women-led films, not that talented actresses don't exist. That's not the point. The point is simple. Historically, women aren't trusted to carry a movie. Historically, men have been overwhelmingly trusted to lead major films, major universes, major action stories, comedies, trilogies, and even box office eras. And because of that, Hollywood has developed a horrible habit. Okay, instead of learning how to write stronger women-led films, they learn how to pretend to invest in and write women-led films. That's my issue. Okay, because when Hollywood says we're giving women the lead now, what it often means is we'll put her name on a poster, right? But still build the movie that heavily depends on a man. That's not giving her the lead. That's just branding. I have the perfect example for this, right? Wonder Woman. It was a huge cultural release, a major moment, right? A symbolic victory for women-led superhero films. So much that they made Wonder Woman an official member of the United Nations. Anybody else remember that? But if you really watch the structure of the movie, for a film called Wonder Woman, Chris Pine is deeply infused to almost the entire experience. The film opens with him crash landing into Wonder Woman's world, and she basically follows him back to Earth to help him complete his mission. He's there throughout the entire journey. He anchors many scenes in the film, leading him to be on screen for 2 hours and 20 minutes of a 2 hour and 30-minute film. Again, no issue with his performance. My issue is with the writers on this one. And my question is always this. Why does a film where the female is titled as the lead, and in this case, actually named after the female icon, why does it still feel the need to heavily center a male presence? Why can't the movie simply trust her enough to stand there alone? And this is where Hollywood reveals itself, because it truly trusts a male lead, right? It doesn't dilute the lead story by constantly checking in with someone else. It lets the man own the frame. But when it comes to women, Hollywood often acts nervous, okay? And it wants to credit it wants the credit of a women-led film, but not the full commitment of one. And that nervousness shows up in the writing. Now, we just talked about Wonder Woman. I would like to compare that film to Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is unquestionably the lead of that movie. Gwyneth Paltrow, who plays Pepper Potts, she is important, she is memorable, and she is recurring in the entire franchise inside the entire MCU. But nobody is confused about whose story Iron Man belongs to. It's his movie and it's his journey. Okay? Across 7 films where Gwyneth Paltrow appears, she is seen for still less than 1 hour playing Pepper Potts. And in Iron Man 1, she had 22 minutes, which means that's less than 38 minutes of Gwyneth Paltrow appearing on screen for another 6 films. Honestly, that's how it's supposed to work. But too often with women-led films, Hollywood tries to sell one thing publicly while building another thing privately. Because and the disconnect that's happening, it matters. Because audiences can feel when a studio doesn't fully believe in its own premise. And if the studio doesn't believe, why should the audience? Now let's be honest about another layer of this. Historically, many women-led films haven't reached the same consistency, longevity, or franchise dominance as male-led films. Now, there are a few strong ones, but I'm speaking historically. And rather than studying why some of these women-led films break through, Hollywood often looks for shortcuts. Instead of writing stronger scripts, they use symbolism. Instead of better characters, they use optics. But audiences are smarter than that. Hollywood needs to ask why people buy tickets. They buy tickets because a film looks good, because the lead feels compelling, because the story feels worth 2 hours of their life. That applies to men and women. So if Hollywood wants women-led films to thrive consistently, the answer isn't slogan, it's craft. Write women more fully formed, right? Write women as fully formed forces, right? Not placeholders or characters who exist just to make a point. Write them dangerous, write them funny, write them brilliant, write them selfish, messy, write them magnetic, right? Write them with the same range men have been written for decades. And then do the most important thing of all. You ready?
Let them lead.
Not halfway, not with the training wheels of a male co-star. Let them lead. Let the story orbit them. Let the stakes rise through them, the women. Let the momentum belong to them. Let the momentum belong to her. Let the success or the failure of the movie rest on her shoulders. Because until Hollywood does that, it'll make keeping women-led films that feel like experiments instead of intentional. And that may be the biggest issue of all. Hollywood keeps treating women like special events instead of business as usual. That mindset limits everything. So no, the history may show the women have not led the majority of successful films, but if that history is going to change, Hollywood has to stop faking their confidence in women and start writing women's characters and women-led films with more confidence. Because if she is the lead, let her lead. I just want to wrap up with I'm really excited for the Supergirl movie that James Gunn is putting out there. I really hope that it does stand true to the title of the film, that it's a Supergirl movie. Okay? Really, really hopeful for that. This was something very, very important to me to speak about because, I'm very interested in breaking stereotypical norms, especially when it comes to film. Less franchises, less reboots, less sequels, more original content, stuff like that. All right. This has been Director's Notes. This has been Real Time with Frankie. If you're listening this far, I want to thank you for being here with me. If you're watching this far, I want to thank you for that also. Please like and subscribe to me on YouTube, on Instagram, all my socials, and anywhere that podcasts can be listened to. The name is Real Time with Frankie, or on my socials at Discuss the Film. Okay? There's a link in my Instagram page. If you click that link, I promise it's not an OnlyFans, okay? Go there, you can find me everywhere I can be found. All right? Once again, thank you so much for joining. I'll see y'all next time.
Just that real time, we have Frankie. Take a seat, front row.